NASCAR Winston Cup race. They're your top 15 at the conclusion of 12 laps. Still Mark Martin leading Jeff Gordon and Bill Elliott. And moving up nicely into 25th spot would be Hut Strickland, who, you know, made that pit stop before the green flag came out. Really started from the tail of the field and has now moved up to the 25th position.
Of course, Hut had originally qualified in the 20th position. Looks like Gordon might be gaining just a little bit on Mark Martin. Well, I don't know. As we go down into turn one, it looks closer on the camera than it did otherwise.
Jeremy Mayfield, Lake Speed, also Ted Musgrave and Robert Presley are battling for position here.
And Rusty Wallace just got around Terry Labonte down here in turn one, so he picks up position. And also last time through here, Sterling Martin lost 2 more positions as Ward Burton got by, and it looks like the Kodak Chevrolet may be slowing somewhat its pace on the race course.
There was Lake Speed going around the 98 car of Jeremy Mayfield.
Let's take a look at that move that Rusty made down the front stretch and into turn number 1.
Well, there he pulls out. Tries to get on the inside of Labonte, and he clears him. Going into the turn, no problem.
And at the top of your screen was Wally Dallenbach, who also went left to try to pick up a position from Michael Waltrip, but was unable to. Now
hey guys, it's unbelievable.
Yeah,
Jeff Gordon, we found out this year, is a great super speedway driver. He won the race at Bristol, so he's a short track driver, and now there's a road racer living in that little bitty body. Where does all those people go?
He is incredible, isn't he?
He has a tremendous amount of talent. And it looks like Bobby Hamilton has a problem. Yeah, maybe an engine problem, Bob. A lot of smoke coming from the STP Pontiac, and has headed already to the garage area.
So the STP Pontiac starting from the outside of the front row last week at Indianapolis with early problems. Let's go to the pit area for a report.
Bobby Hill has made a couple stops on pit road. The first when he pulled in, they had a fuel leak, a problem with the carburetor, and some raw fuel getting into the cockpit of the car. In fact, some of it leaked out on pit road and made quite a puddle, so they had to tighten that up, and then they had to use shop towels to soak up the gasoline that was inside the cockpit. And upon leaving, he was in too big a hurry and went too fast down pit road, had to come in for a stop and go. Let's go down pit road to Dr. Jerry Punch. We're standing by in the Wood Brothers pit with Len Wood. And Len, a moment ago, we had a little bit of a shunt between Morgan Shepherd and Dale Jarrett. What happened out there?
I think they were both looking for the same spot on the racetrack at the same time, and they got together, and Morgan spun off the course. I think it knocked the front end out of line. We need a caution right now to get caught up and work on it a little bit.
So they're hoping for a yellow flag here. We might also comment that the car number 4 of Sterling Marlin is being shown back in the pack. Apparently is having some transmission problems. He is being shown in 33rd spot. Remember, we told you at the top of the show, the points are going to be critical here as Rusty Wallace makes a move inside of Bill Elliott.
Yes, indeed. Once again in turn 1, where Bill Weber is positioned. He got to the inside and passed Bill Elliott, so Rusty now goes to 3rd.
And Dale Earnhardt just got past Michael Waltrip, and he and Wally Dallenbach both picked up a position. Dallenbach the last lap through here, and Dale Earnhardt just now picking up a position, passing past Michael Waltrip, and Earnhardt continuing his charge from that 15th starting position.
Hey, Earnhardt's got some rub on there, the left side there, Ned.
It did look like a little bit of damage there, Bob. Not affecting the performance of that Goodwrench Chevrolet. He now has moved up to the 8th position. Michael Waltrip drops back to 9th. You can see the green car on the right of your screen there was Bobby Labonte, who's running in the 10th position.
That's some pretty good damage to that left front on the Goodwrench Chevrolet, guys.
Yes, there sure is, Benny. I don't know how that happened, but it's definitely rubbing the tire.
Well, there's Ricky Craven. He was running in the 12th position. But here, coming off of, where's that, turn 1?
I believe
the outer loop. Okay, the outer loop over there in front of Dorsey Schrader.
And a lucky guy he was in the high-speed section. He didn't get in the grass, otherwise he wouldn't be pulling away. Real lucky spin there. He stayed on the pavement and keeps going.
Here's Earnhardt again making the move. Excuse me, Bob. He was trying to get around Bobby Hillman, but again, a little bit of smoke off that Goodwrench Chevrolet down here in 1.
Yeah, he's definitely got a tire rubbing. When he came through here last time, you could see it pretty heavily.
They see you don't see it when he makes that right-hand turn as he comes up through the S's, and once he gets over in Dorsey's area, take a look at it. Yeah, you can see when it bounces, that finger is against that tire when it bounces, and I guess when it goes into those right-hand turns, I should have said there a moment ago, the left-hand turns, it leans away from it.
Dale started 15th, has moved up to 8th, but this could be a situation that affects the number 3 GM Goodwrench Chevrolet, because the tire is definitely rubbing at some point. Just ahead of him is Bobby Hillen. Let's see if we can determine how this happened. Down in turn number 1, that is Michael Waltrip to the left.
It gets on the inside of Michael. Michael comes down to go into the turn like he normally would, and they get together, and that's where the damage was done. Let's go to the pits and Jerry Punch.
Well, they're watching down in the Dale Earnhardt pit very closely as they see that tire smoke and the tire rubbing by as the Ricky Terry car getting by Bill Elliott also. And now Ricky Rudd is going to make a move inside the McDonald's Ford to take the spot away. But I will mention that prior to the race today, the Goodwrench crew actually took an air chisel and sliced both of the front fingers on the Goodwrench Chevrolet open and pulled them back in about 1.5 inches. They said they had too much fender flare. The car was getting loose going into corners. They thought the fender flare would help them, as now Dallenbach makes his way by Bill Elliott to the Pontiac, making a move past the Ford Thunderbird. But in any event, they did move the Earnhardt fenders in both the front, left, and right this morning, and they popped them back in place, and that may be contributing somewhat to the problem of tire rubbing. Bob?
All right. It definitely is, and Bill Elliott is also losing positions. You saw Wally Dallenbach take 6th from him just a moment ago, and now Earnhardt's knocking on his rear bumper.
Now remember, Earnhardt started in the 15th position, now running 8th, working on 7th.
Earnhardt again steps out of line. Coming on the inside of Elliott, and he'll pick up another position, tire smoke or not. Dale Earnhardt still moving forward. Look, gets a little loose, and Elliott works his way by, so Dale had the position and lost it, and Elliott leads through 2 and up to the S.
That was a perfect road racing move right there as he brought him in deep under braking, and Dale had to go out wide on the exit, and that allowed Bill to run right up the inside and up the hill. However, I still think Bill's falling back. You know, he's losing position, so his car's off a little bit right now.
Turn 5 there to...
Yeah, he's got the wider line, so he will probably get more speed coming off that corner and run down toward that left hand.
Yes, you see if Richard Gillis and the crew had told Dale Earnhardt not to use so much brake going in the corner so he wouldn't drop that fender down on that tire so much.
That's a good point, Vicky. When you hit those brakes hard and you shift that weight down there, well, it certainly makes it rub more.
Let's see if Earnhardt makes a move, Bill. I think he's going to try it again.
He's going to try and pull it off again, Bob, to the inside. Elliott sweeping into the turn, holds off the Goodwrench Chevrolet. That was close. And by the way, it looks like Rusty's closing in on the back bumper of the DuPont Chevrolet. And right now, Earnhardt chasing Bill Elliott. The McDonald's Ford leads the charge up through there, followed by Earnhardt, and it's Michael Waltrip.
So a lot of good racing going on back there, but up here, it's still Mark Martin leading Jeff Gordon, as we're 19 laps into the 90 lap, but at the Glen from Watkins, Glen, New York.